Stop. Don't scroll past. Before you leave, answer a question that could change the entire way you see the world. Do you believe that just by being kind, you will be safe? Do you think that kindness will make others loyal to you? Do you hope that your generosity will always be remembered or that your honesty will always be respected? If the answer is yes, then you are about to face one of the cruelest truths that society has planted in your mind. This world does not reward kindness. It only rewards those who know how to use kindness as a strategy. Machiavelli saw this hundreds of years ago. He witnessed merciful kings betrayed, gentle rulers overthrown, generous men abandoned by the very people they once saved. And so he wrote, "The prince not to teach you morality, but to teach you how to survive among wolves." You may continue to believe that endless kindness will make life smile at you, but let's be honest. How many times have you done the right thing only to be disrespected? How many times have you stayed silent to avoid conflict, only to be looked down on? How many times have you given everything, and when you needed help, no one was there? Write it down in the comments, because that honesty is the beginning of your transformation. Today you will face 8 cold truths about kindness. The first truth: kindness is not a shield. You think it will protect you from malicious people. You believe that if you live kindly, others will not harm you. The truth is the opposite. Kindness is not a shield. It is a sign hanging on your chest written clearly, "I am easy to exploit." Think back in your life. How many times has your kindness been turned into bait for others? You help a colleague, and he knows you will never refuse. You listen to a friend's troubles, and she knows you will always be there no matter the hour. And once they are certain you will never say no, you have become a free service. Listen, repeated kindness does not create respect. It creates habit. People no longer see you as valuable. They see you as obvious. Have you ever known a friend or colleague like that? Always ready to help move houses. Always ready to pay. Always ready to take on the hardest tasks. At first, people are grateful. But after a few times, gratitude vanishes. Only expectation remains. When you always say yes, others believe you will never disappear. And that very certainty makes you the easiest one to forget. Let me tell you a story. There was a manager so devoted he always put the group's interests above his own. He protected his employees, covered their mistakes, even sacrificed his chance of promotion to keep unity. People praised him. People respected him until the company needed to choose a new leader. The result, he was left behind. They chose someone else. Not necessarily kind, but tough, decisive, unafraid to say no. Why? Because in the eyes of the world, someone who is too kind is not a leader. They are only a loyal servant. Machiavelli once wrote, "The lion cannot escape traps. The fox cannot defend against wolves. To survive, one must be both lion and fox." How many years have you lived like a gentle sheep among wolves? In a world full of competition, a sheep has only one fate: to become the feast. I want you to stop and think. Have you ever felt like you were turned into someone's doormat at work, in your family, or even in friendship, in love? If the answer is yes, write it down in the comments, because only when you dare name the wound can you begin to heal it. Do not forget, kindness does not protect you. It exposes you. In a world where most are waiting to find a weakness to exploit, unconditional kindness makes you a delicious prey. So what is the solution? It's simple. Make your kindness rare. Do not let it become a schedule everyone memorizes. Do not let people be certain you are always available. Make it surprising. Make it carry weight. One occasional yes is worth 10 repeated yes. When your kindness becomes rare, it turns into strength. When it is unexpected, it becomes leverage. Machiavelli understood this well. He never taught us to abandon kindness. He taught us to use it as a strategic tool. And today you must learn that too. Choose when to give, when to stay silent, and when to coldly refuse. Remember, not every yes gives you power. Sometimes it is the cold no that earns you respect. The second truth, the trap of generosity. Why repeated generosity does not make you more beloved, but instead makes you despised. It sounds paradoxical, but the cruel truth is this: the more you give, the more you risk being despised. The first time you help, they are grateful. The second time, they appreciate it. But by the 10th time, gratitude disappears. In its place, expectation arises. Have you ever experienced this? As long as you keep giving, they happily surround you. But the very moment you stop, everything you did is erased. They don't remember the 9 times you sacrificed. They only remember the 1 time you refused, and then they call you selfish. That is the trap of generosity. You think you are building affection, sowing virtue, buying loyalty. But in truth, you are chaining yourself to an invisible shackle. Look at family. The child who received the first gift jumps with joy. The second time, he says thank you softly. By the 10th gift, it becomes an obvious habit. And when you say no, he doesn't remember the 9 times before. He only sees you as unfair. The workplace is the same. An employee who constantly stays late at the office. At first, the boss praises him, but after a few months, staying late becomes a norm. And the one time he leaves on time, he is immediately looked at with annoyance. This is human nature. What is abundant loses its value. Repeated generosity transforms you from a precious gem into a handful of cheap sand. Machiavelli warned benefits should be conferred gradually so that they may be tasted more fully. He understood that value exists only when it is scarce. What is excessive will be despised. Have you ever fallen into the cycle? You help someone over and over. You sacrifice your time, your money, your energy. But when you finally need help, they vanish. Worse, when you refuse once, they turn against you. Be honest. How many times have people abandoned you simply because you couldn't give anymore? Write it down in the comments, because daring to tell it is the first step to awakening. So what is the solution? It is clear. Turn generosity into a strategy, not a habit. Do not give unconditionally. Choose the right time, the right person, the right reason. A cold, decisive, timely yes is worth more than 10 careless yes. One help given to the right person at the right moment can change an entire relationship, while 100 meaningless acts of giving only make you a cheap servant. Remember, to refuse is not to be selfish. To set limits is not to be cold. It is precisely because you can say no that when you say yes, it carries weight. It inspires respect. It creates power. Generosity is not wrong, but generosity without limits will destroy you. It turns you into a pillar for others to drain until you are empty. It leaves you exhausted while they are never satisfied. Machiavelli never told you to abandon kindness. He reminded you, use it as a lever of power. One strike at the right moment can turn a battle, but swinging the sword aimlessly will sooner or later see it stolen from your hands. So from today, ask yourself, am I giving because I truly want to or because I fear being disliked? If the answer leans toward fear, you're already imprisoned by your own generosity. The third truth, the mass of virtue. You may be a good person, a pure heart, a sincere soul. But remember this, the world does not see your heart. The world only sees how you appear. Listen carefully. You may have the best intentions, but if you look weak, others will only remember that weakness. Machiavelli once wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be, but few know what you truly are." He understood that perception shapes power. Think about today's society. People don't have time to dig into your soul. They only observe your eyes, your posture, your reactions, and instantly they classify you. Strong or weak, leader or follower, respected or dismissed. Have you seen this before? A person with talent and intelligence ignored because they looked timid. Another person not so exceptional, but who knew how to stand tall, speak clearly, hold a sharp gaze, ends up being seen as a leader. Here is the cold truth. The world doesn't care who you are. The world only cares about how you look. You may be kind, but if your exterior radiates weakness, people will treat you as weak. You may be intelligent, but if you look like someone ready to carry every burden, you'll be loaded until you collapse. Machiavelli saw this 500 years ago. He didn't teach you to lie. He taught you to strategize your image. A surgeon may cut into your flesh to save your life. In that moment, he appears cruel, but in reality, it is the highest act of kindness. Sometimes cruelty on the surface is the only way to protect what is good at the core. Do you see it? Your kindness doesn't need to be displayed at all times. In fact, sometimes you must hide it behind a cold mask if you want it to be respected. Ask yourself, in the eyes of others, are you the gentle one easily exploited or the silent one who makes people cautious? Write your honest answer in the comments, because that self-awareness is the first step to taking control of your image. Remember, power is not only in who you are, power is in who you make others believe you are. You don't need to be fake. You only need to learn control. Do not let the world write your script. You are the director of your own image. Machiavelli made it clear. Men in general judge more by the eye than by the hand. For everyone can see, but few can touch. That means you may keep a kind nature, but choose when, where, and with whom to show it. Do not let your kindness become a spotlight that exposes you to judgment. Make it a lamp you turn on and off it with a shine or to conceal. And here's a great lesson. Virtue is not a crown to display. It is a mask you wear when necessary. The fourth truth, the price of every action. An even harsher reality, that every gift, every action, every moment of yours carries a price. And if you do not calculate it, you will pay that price yourself with blood, with time, with your entire life. In the game of power, everything has a price. No action is free. Every time you say yes when your heart wants to scream no, you just paid a price. Think about it. How many moments of your life were stolen just because you were afraid to refuse? How many of your dreams were buried just so you could carry someone else's burden? Every nod, every sacrifice is a bill you sign with your own life. Here is a truth that overly kind people never admit. You do not have unlimited capital. You cannot buy more time. You cannot recreate the energy that has been drained. Once you give everything, you are no longer support. You become a living corpse, exhausted, soulless with nothing left to give. Machiavelli once warned, he who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. But you cannot command when you are already depleted. A tired man cannot lead. An empty man cannot inspire. Remember this image. On a plane, when an emergency strikes and the oxygen masks fall, the instruction always says, put it on yourself first, then help others. Why? Because if you pass out, you are no longer a rescuer. You are just another victim. So why in life are you living the opposite? You rush to give oxygen to the entire world, while you yourself are suffocating. I want you to stop and be honest. How many times have you felt anger, regret, bitterness just because you said yes when inside you want to scream no? How many times have you buried your own dreams to chase after someone else's tasks? Write it down in the comments. That is the proof that you are paying with your very life. The harsh reality is this. Blind kindness is not an endless river. It is a lake. And if you keep opening the valve, sooner or later it will run dry. A wise person understands this. Power does not come from endless spending. Power comes from knowing how to preserve, how to invest, and how to release at the right moment. You must learn to defend your resources, your time, your energy, your attention. Do not fear being called selfish. Understand that strategic selfishness is a foundation of sustainability. You cannot save the world if you drown in your own sacrifice. You cannot leave a legacy if you collapse halfway. Remember this. Unconditional giving is not virtue. It is slow suicide. The wise know when to retreat, when to say no, when to disappear completely to recover their strength. It is this clarity that allows them not only to survive, but to dominate. Imagine this. Power is like money. It does not come from constant spending. It comes from saving, investing, and using it at the right time. And here's the truth. Kindness, generosity, honesty, they're all weapons. And weapons only have value when you draw them at the right time, in the right place, with the right purpose. Otherwise, they are nothing but useless decorations. The fifth truth, virtue is a sword, not a crown. How to transform virtue from a fragile crown on your head into a sharp sword powerful enough to change your entire life. Most people believe virtue is a crown. They think that once you place it on your head, everyone will bow, everyone will respect you. But Machiavelli revealed a cold truth. Virtue is not a crown. Virtue is a sword. A crown on display inspires no fear. But a sword, when drawn at the right moment, can decide the fate of battle. Look at history. Martin Luther King Jr. was not just gentle. He used patience and compassion as strategy, as sharp weapons to expose the cruelty of the system. Mother Teresa could not save the entire world. She chose carefully the poorest among the poor. It was this calculated focus that made her compassion an invincible weapon. Do you see it? Virtue only holds power when it is used strategically. One precise strike is worth more than 1,000 meaningless swings. How many times have you been kind? Not because you wanted to, but because you were afraid of being hated. How many times have you said yes only because you fear being called cruel? Write this in comments. From today, my kindness is a choice, not a reflex. Make those words your vow. The wise never use virtue to please everyone. They use it to create results. They forgive when forgiveness strengthens power. They are strict when strictness creates respect. They are generous when generosity builds loyalty. But the moment those actions only create dependency, they withdraw cold, decisive. Strategic virtue means you hold the scale in your hand. You decide who deserves kindness, when they receive it, and under what conditions. And this control makes others respect you, even fear you, because they understand one thing. Your kindness is never free. It always carries power. Never forget, a sword hanging on a wall troubles no one, but a sword in the hands of a warrior drawn at the right time can change history. So it is with you. Your kindness does not need to be scattered like flowers on the road. It must be hidden in its sheath, drawn only when the time is ripe. Machiavelli once wrote, "Promises made out of necessity of the past are broken by the needs of the present." Virtue is the same. It is not a chain that binds you. It is a tool you wield to break chains. Imagine this. If today you stopped using kindness as a plea for affection and started using it as a strategy for results, how much would your life change? The sixth truth, the illusion of gratitude. Do you believe that gratitude is eternal? Do you think that if you sacrifice enough, others will cherish you forever? If that is your belief, it's time to face a cruel truth. Gratitude has an expiration date. Yes, gratitude always fades faster than you imagine. The first time you help someone, they are moved to tears. The second time, they're still thankful. But by the third, the fourth, the fifth time, the magic is gone. Helping is no longer a gift. It becomes an obligation, something you are expected to do. And the very moment you refuse, every memory of your past yes vanishes. They only remember one thing. You said no. Have you experienced this? A friend who once stood shoulder to shoulder with you turns away, even calls you a traitor just because you couldn't help once. A family member you sacrificed everything for lashes out and accuses you of being ungrateful the moment you deny them something small. This is the illusion of gratitude. Machiavelli once wrote, "Men in general judge more by the eye than by the hand. For everyone can see, but few can feel." People do not live in the memory of the past. They only care about the present. Today you give, they smile. Tomorrow you stop, and instantly you are the villain. This is human nature. The more they receive, the quicker they forget. The more present you are, the easier they take you for granted. The more you sacrifice, the faster they betray you. The moment you keep something for yourself, look at a child. The first gift makes them leap with joy. By the 10th gift, it is expected. And when you stop, they get angry, even resentful. The workplace is no different. An employee who constantly stays late at the office. At first he is praised as dedicated, but after a few months staying late becomes a norm. And the one day he leaves on time, he is instantly labeled irresponsible. Do you see it now? Gratitude is not a wall that protects you. It is like sand. The tighter you hold it, the faster it slips away. Confess this to yourself. How many times has someone forgotten everything you did for them just because of one thing you didn't do? Write your story in the comments. When you share it, you will realize you are not alone. Thousands of others have been betrayed in the exact same way. So what is the solution? It's simple. Do not depend on gratitude. Learn to create respect even when others are ungrateful. Make your kindness rare. Let your absence create longing. Let your refusal make your yes 10 times more valuable. The wise understand this. Gratitude is a passing wind. Respect is a mountain that stands firm. You cannot live off the gratitude of others, but you can endure on the respect they give you, even if it's reluctant, even if it's cold. It is stronger than any thank you. The seventh truth: intentions mean nothing. Results are everything. You may have a heart of gold. You may carry the noblest intentions, but this world does not live inside your heart. The world only sees the results you produce. Listen carefully. No one respects you just because you mean well. People only respect you when you get things done. Machiavelli once said, "The end justifies the means." He did not encourage meaningless cruelty. He only reminded us that good intentions without results are worthless. Think back. How many times have you stayed silent to keep the peace only to be met with contempt? How many times have you worked yourself to exhaustion for the group only to find at reward time no one even remembered your name? How many times did you choose the morally right thing only to end up paying the price yourself? This is one of the greatest tragedies of the kind-hearted. They confuse intentions with achievements. But history does not carve the names of those who meant well. History carves the names of those who made things happen. People do not remember the teacher who was too kind, too afraid to give low grades. They remember the strict teacher who forced students to grow. People do not remember the sweet leaders who pleased the crowd. They remember the tough ones who reshaped the game. Do you see it? A father who never disciplines his child is not gentle. He is destroying his child's future. A boss who never sets high standards is not kind. He is weakening his entire team. I want you to stop and answer honestly. How many times have you chosen to be nice? And that very choice led to you being trampled. Write it in the comments, because when you write it, you will realize it's not just your story. It's the trap of an entire generation of the kind. The harsh truth is this: the world is full of nice people, but the world is scarce of those who dare to leave a legacy. The nice are loved in the moment, but quickly forgotten. The ones who create results, even if hated, are remembered forever. What do you want? Short-term affection or long-term respect? That is a question only you can answer. Machiavelli reminds us, the world does not care what you intended to do. It only cares what you actually did. So change your mindset today. Do not use kindness as a shield for incompetence. Tie your kindness to concrete results. Do not choose the easy, pleasant path just to be liked. Choose the hard path if it produces lasting impact. A truly good person is not one who keeps others comfortable. A truly good person is one who dares to create change even if it causes discomfort in the moment. Remember this: intentions will not feed you. Results determine who you are in the eyes of the world. The eighth truth: legacy and survival. History does not honor those who merely live well. History only remembers those who survive long enough to turn goodness into power. You may be generous, honest, full of compassion, but if you are crushed in the game of power, all those virtues will disappear with you. Think about it. Can you name 5 anonymous, kind people in history? You cannot, but you can easily name the hard, ruthless, decisive figures who left their mark. Steve Jobs is not remembered for being nice. He is remembered for creating products that change the world. Great leaders do not endure because of naive kindness. They endure because they held their ground among wolves, because they turned kindness into strategy, not into a burden. Here is the truth most people avoid. If you want to do good, you must first survive. The most generous man cannot help anyone if he is already drained. The most honest man cannot speak truth if he has been silenced forever. The most compassionate soul cannot protect others if he has been removed from the game. Survival is the foundation of legacy. You must protect yourself before you can protect others. You must hold your place on the board before you can change the game. Ask yourself, do you want to be remembered as a nice nobody who was forgotten, or as someone cold but who left an unerasable mark? Write your answer in the comments. This will be your commitment to your own life. Do not mistake it. Machiavelli did not promote meaningless cruelty. He promoted clarity. Clarity that kindness only has power when it is guarded by cold steel. Clarity that gentleness must carry the shadow of fear behind it, because without it you will be torn apart. You will be despised. You will be forgotten. To leave a legacy, you must learn to combine both. A heart that can love but armored in discipline and strength. a hand that can lift others, but is also ready to let go of those who drag you down. Here lies the paradox. You can only truly do good when you are strong enough to survive in a cruel world. Imagine this. Life is a battlefield. You may carry flowers, but if you carry no sword, you will fall before you ever get to give those flowers to anyone. The final awakening. This is the 8th truth. The final awakening. Legacy is not built on naive goodness. It is built on results, strength, and the ability to survive among wolves. You've just walked with me through the 8 coldest truths of Machiavelli, and now the final question is no longer, do you believe them? It is, what will you do with them? You can continue living as before, blindly kind, giving unconditionally, staying silent just to keep the peace, and in the end becoming the victim in your own story. Or you can choose another path, the path of turning kindness into a weapon, the path of drawing boundaries, knowing when to smile, when to stay silent, and when to unsheathe your sword. Machiavelli once wrote, if you cannot be both loved and feared, then choose to be feared. He was not glorifying cruelty. He was reminding us of clarity, that in a world of wolves, kindness without steel will only turn you into soft meat. Be honest. Do you want to be remembered as a pleasant nobody, quickly forgotten, or as someone cold, but who left an immortal legacy? Write your answer in the comments. Do not just watch. Swear it. Write, I choose respect over being liked. That will be the mark you carve into your mind and into this community. This is not just a video. This is a door that leads you out of the illusion that kindness alone is enough. A door into a world where kindness only holds value when fused with discipline, toughness, and strategic wisdom. Remember each truth you've heard. 1. Kindness does not protect you. It exposes you. 2. Repeated generosity turns you into someone despised. 3. Society cares about appearances, not essence. 4. Every nod you give is a payment sign with your life. 5. Virtue is not a crown. It is a sword. 6. Gratitude is an illusion. It fades faster than you think. 7. Intentions mean nothing. Only results define you. 8. And finally, to leave a legacy, you must first survive. This is not theory. This is a law of life. Ask yourself, how many more years will you waste living as a lamb? How many more times will you pour out your strength only to be met with contempt? How many times must you fall before realizing no one remembers the kind but weak? Today you have a choice. Continue as a lamb among wolves or rise as the shepherd of wolves, not through meaningless cruelty, but through wisdom, boundaries, and strength. I want you to write in the comments right now, I am no longer a lamb. I am the shepherd of wolves. This is not just a sentence. It is an oath you carve into your mind. Machiavelli knew kindness protected by strength can change the world, but kindness exposed will shatter you to pieces. So from today, rewrite the rules. Do not beg to be liked. Force others to respect you. Do not hand out flowers barehanded among wolves. Grip the sword behind your back so that your smile always carries weight. Which path will you choose? Will you keep hiding behind a mask of niceness? Or step into the light with cold eyes, a calculating smile, and a sword always ready? If this video opened your eyes, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who also needs to hear this truth. Because this is not just knowledge for you. This is a weapon, and the world needs more warriors. Those who know how to wield kindness as a blade, not as a burden. This is only the beginning. In the next video, I will reveal the secret to making sure no one can ever control or bother you, even in the harshest situations. Be ready, because that will be the weapon that makes you untouchable.